Tom Homan. Mr. Homan, a pleasure to meet you and a pleasure to welcome you to our program. Thank you for making the time.
Thanks for having me.
My understanding is, and we heard one minister reference it, that you've spoken to two of our federal government's ministers about a border plan that they presented this week. In your view, Mr. Homan, does that plan address the concerns President Trump has about the border with Canada?
I don't know yet. We had a very general conversation on both our countries' concern on cross-border crime, right? And we're certainly concerned about the number of aliens coming across the northern border coming into the United States from special interest countries like India, Pakistan, Turkey, and such. Border numbers on our northern border are up 600% from the previous administration. So we got a lot of issues on the northern border. So we talked about that, and they said they found some money to invest in border security and technology, and that we working together with your border security force and RCMP, but we haven't gotten the specifics yet. We agreed to meet in the next few days to talk about specifics, how we're going to make this work. I also committed to them that we're equally concerned about cross-border crime into Canada, and the secure border is going to help both countries. So one of the things I mentioned to them, I think Canada's immigration laws are too lax. It's pretty easy to get into Canada. Not a lot of not a lot of screening is done, not compared to the United States. I'm talking about those who come in just to get to Canada, transit to the United States. I think they need to be screened better before we let them in. Of course, that's up to Canada to change those rules. But I am grateful they're coming to the table to talk about border security, because the northern border is a huge national security risk, just because of the types of population that's coming through it.
So let me unpack a little bit of that, if you don't mind, and just start off actually with a more general question. As you mentioned, the conversation was very general. Would you classify or qualify the conversations going on with Canada as open? Are the lines of communication good? Is there goodwill, in your view, on both sides to reach an agreement that would help Canada avoid the application of those tariffs?
Yes, I think the conversation was very positive. Again, we didn't get into specifics. Specifics are going to take planning. But they came to the table. I came to the table with them, and the conversation was very good. I'm optimistic that we're going to secure the border together, both nations together. I'm very optimistic that we're going to reduce cross-border crime, in both countries. So I'm looking forward to getting the specifics and having our border forces work very closely with Canadian border forces to secure that border, and by securing the border, saving lives. Because there's been a lot of deaths on the northern border, especially in the wintertime. We're approaching winter. Already winter up there. I was just up there last week, and we already got a lot of snow. But we need to get to the table quickly and help prevent the massive amounts of death that have occurred on the northern border the last few years. So great conversation. I'm very optimistic. I think we're going to come out with a plan that's going to work for both countries. I think we're going to come with a plan that President Trump would be happy with.